Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to Adventures in Crafting, and today we're making two Easter cards, one of them for my lovely 10-month-old granddaughter Renly. So I'm using the Cottontail Cuties from Neat and Tangled. We're no longer around, but I still love a lot of their stamp sets and plan on keeping them forever. So I already have my images stamped and colored and die cut out. Yes, I said die cuts, people. No fussy cutting for me in this video. So I'm going to ink blend. I'm doing two square cards today. I believe they're 4.5 by 4.5. And I'm ink blending some clouds here. I have the Heffy Doodle Cloudy Skies, I believe it is, stencil. I'll have everything listed in the description box below, as long as it's still available. If not, I'll try to find an equal alternative to the stuff I used. Of course, I don't know if Cottontail Cuties will be available unless another store still carries it. I do not remember what this is called, but this is Layering Grass from Trinity, and let me tell you, I love this stuff, and there's two different ways you can do it. I don't know why I showed you my nail there. I know a lot of people like to know what nail color people are using. Now, I don't paint my nails. I'm very horrible at it when it comes to using my right hand to do my left hand. So I use Color Street on my nails. I love the stuff. And I was just pointing out that was the first time ever that I had the glitter nail strips chip on me so quickly. I've only had these on for a week, and usually I can make them last 2 on my hands if I put on 2 layers of top coat. Anyway, moving along. So I don't know if I show you, but you could actually layer this grass by stamping over it, because there's different lengths as well as different layers. Or you can cut it out separately like I did, layer by layer. I did do both. I layered it on one set, which I showed you, and then I did 2 separate. I did end up using all of them, except for one. But I went along the edge there where I cut it out with the dies, and I just ink blended some more with a tiny, tiny ink blending brush, detail brush, because I didn't want that white line there. Didn't take that long. I believe I used Grass Skirt. And then I used this picket fence die I'm going to show you here. It came from an old Hero Arts set, March 2017. I believe it's the very first Hero Arts kit I ever purchased. And I always loved it because it had those cute little bunnies, and it had the add-on dies of the picket fence and the rows of dirt. I always loved that stamp set. So here I'm using the picket fence die, and I'm gluing grass onto the front of it. And then, of course, we'll have grass in front at the edge of our card. I did trim some of the grass shorter, showing that you could use it without all that white on it if you really wanted to snip through it, but it was a pain in the butt, so I don't plan on doing that. Talk about fussy cutting. That's a whole nother layer to fussy cutting that I just don't want to get into. And here I did use some green on the bottom of my card, so that if anything showed from the grass when I laid it down at the bottom, then it would be covered and blended in disguise. So here I'm just trying to lay out my plan here. You can see I have some images separated depending on what side of the card, which card I want them to go on. I die cut some clouds using a Spellbinder's cloud. It was a Delight die with clouds. I don't remember what else was in that Delight set, but I did keep the cloud. I believe I gave the other dies away. And we're going to lay some foam strips on that, and we're going to pop those up so that we can tuck some things behind it. So even if you decide not to pop your grass up with foam tape, you could always just put your glue at the lower part of your grass so that you could still use your tweezers to lift up the edge of the grass and stick things behind it. So the little girl with the wagon's going to go on the first card, second card. Roll of the dice, people. 50-50 chance of being right, because I can't remember what went on what card. They're so similar. And then I'm going to make a pile of carrots. Now I remember doing this with that stamp set, the same stamp set, when I first purchased it back when I was like at the beginning of making cards. That's how old the stamp set is. About 6 years old, 7 years old. And the little bunny's going to be sitting on top of the pile so that he's just about eye level with the little girl who's pulling the wagon. There we go. And then I didn't like how it looked, so I propped him up on foam tape and then added him back to the front of the card. Then I propped up the bunny that was sitting on the top of the eggs inside the wagon. And we're going to place our flowers now. I'll tell you what, the dies definitely come in handy for those smaller images that I just have a hard time holding when I'm fussy cutting. Now, I don't mind fussy cutting most of the time, but those small images are just a pain in the butt to hold when you're trying to do that. And if you hear the cat, there's a thunderstorm outside, and she has been racing back and forth so much so that she's had me cracking up laughing. So you might hear me laugh as well. I believe I did in the last video. I've got 3 videos of voiceover tonight, so as long as it continues, you might hear me chuckling along in every video. Now on that other card, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, instead of carrots, we're going to use a little Easter egg that came in the stamp set. There'll be 2 hanging out on the fence and 1 in the grass. And our little bunny who's sitting is going to be staring up at the eggs this time, while the other one's facing us, because it likes us. Who doesn't love a cute little bunny? These bunnies are so cute. I always loved the way these bunnies looked. Fell in love with them. One of the reasons that I'll never give the stamp set away. That and the little girl. Who can't, or who doesn't love a little girl dressed up in rabbit ears? But it does remind me of Ralphie from A Christmas Story. I just love that movie. I really do. So anyway, I got a whole buildup of cards for my granddaughter, Renly. She lives in England now. Her parents moved to England because her mommy's from England. And her mommy missed her mommy and her home. And I miss Renly and my son and my daughter-in-law, but I get to talk to her every week on FaceTime. See, there's a lot of things you guys don't know now. I have a granddaughter. They moved to England. I mean, tons of stuff because I've been so sick this past year. Lots of stuff to fill you guys in on. So now I'm stamping the inside of my cards. We have You Are My Cottontail Cutie and Hi Honey Bunny, Happy Easter. I did Cottontail Cutie for both in the insides, but the outsides are going to be different. I believe one says Hey Chickie and one says Honey Bunny. I was going to put Hi Honey Bunny, but even though the Hi came in that very same stamp set, it was so much larger than the Honey Bunny and written in different font that I didn't think they matched very well, so I just left the Hi off. It's a quick video for today, huh? Did hear those sentiment strips, added some bling, and that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you liked what you saw here today, and don't forget to hit the bell so you can be aware of all the new videos that will be coming out this year. And we will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now, guys.